Hey, what up, you guys? It's Danny B, watching the Trash Dash, and in this video, it's my last day of my old movie month May series, and I gotta keep it kind of quiet because it's kind of late at night. But I want to go through everything I've watched and everything I reviewed and all that, plus some pickups. So here we go. And first off, I'm gonna start off with two that I didn't pick up or I don't have a copy of, but I did watch on YouTube. One was called What No Beer with Jimmy Durante and Buster Keaton. My first time seeing this one, and it was pretty good. Not the best thing I ever saw or anything, but it was alright. And then the second one was called I Walk with a Zombie, which I watched that the same night as I watched White Zombie with Bela Lugosi. And I definitely like the White Zombie movie better, but this one was alright. I might pick it up at some point. So next up, let's go into the ones that I reviewed, and I'm just gonna go through these kind of quick. I reviewed that What No Beer one also, but first up we got Plan 9 from Outer Space, classic cheesy Ed Wood one, pretty good. Then I watched another Bela Lugosi one. These are both Bela Lugosi. White Zombie. This was the first time I ever saw this one, even though I do have it on a bunch of like multi-collection DVDs and stuff. And this one actually kind of really surprised me. I really love this one. Yeah, awesome stuff. Next up, that's gonna be for later. Alright, next up we got The Drive by Night, which was a Bogart one with George Raft, more of a George Raft movie actually, and Sheridan. Love this one. I've seen this a couple other times before watching this, but yeah, one of my favorites, The Drive by Night. And then next up, this was actually, I watched these in April. The only one I really watched in May was one called International House, which actually also has Bela Lugosi in it. These are, of course, the W.C. Fields movies that Universal put out. I don't think they're all of his movies. I think he has a bunch more than this, but these are 10 that they put out. So International House, it was alright. Not the best one on the thing or anything, but it's kind of like a variety show of a movie. W.C. Fields is in it, but it's like just a bunch of random shit kind of. And like I said, Bela Lugosi is trying to shoot W.C. Fields with like a bent gun, like a broken gun. Kind of a funny movie. And then Cab Calloway has a musical scene in it, pretty cool, and he's actually singing about weed. He's like singing The Reefer Man. My favorite one on all these though is there's one called Poppy, which is a really good one. The only one I haven't seen yet was, let's see if I can find it, the one called You're Telling Me. I haven't watched that one yet, but all these other ones, really funny stuff, and highly recommend W.C. Fields if you haven't seen him. I gotta thank Broke Mo Howard on YouTube for turning me on to W.C. Fields. Next up, I picked up this Cult Madness collection, and I reviewed one on here called She Should Have Said No, which, let me get that out of here. But yeah, these are 4 DVDs with like Test Tube Babies, Damaged Lives, She Should Have Said No. This one was one of my favorite ones I watched through this whole series. This was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, really funny. And then, of course, Sex Madness, which I have not watched yet. But yeah, happy to have those. And yeah, that was a fun time watching that. Next up, Crime School. This was also a first time watch and a pickup for me. Yeah, really kind of cool movie actually. It's basically a remake of one called The Mayor of Hell. But yeah, good reform school movie with Bogart and the Dead End Kids. I love the Dead End Kids, and I love Bogart actually a lot too. Babyface. I watched this last year, I believe, or maybe 2 years ago, but probably like my third or fourth time seeing it. Pretty good one with Barbara Stanwyck, and kind of like one of these pre-code movies. Yeah, good stuff. Alright, next up, Betty Boop. Watched a bunch of these cartoons. These were a lot better than I remembered. Really kind of just like good stuff to put on a rainy day. Like, it's got a lot of musical numbers and stuff, and Betty Boop is super cute and awesome old 30s animation. Yeah, I love it. The Lady Killer, one of my favorite Cagney movies. Yeah, really fun stuff. What do we got here? Which one did I watch? The Walking Dead with Boris Karloff. That was a good one. Yeah, excellent stuff. But directed by Michael Curtiz. I haven't watched these other ones yet. Yeah, I gotta check those out. Alright, and then last up, Out of the Fog with John Garfield and Ida Lupino. Highly recommend this one. If you haven't seen it, one of my favorite of these old Warner Brothers movies. That actually was not last up. Sorry, I said it. Last up is actually all the Marx Brothers movies. I think the only one I reviewed was Horse Feathers, but I watched all of them, and then I did a ranking on all of them. And this was a big highlight. Probably the best thing that I watched out of all these was just watching all these guys for the first time. It was an absolute blast watching all these. Yeah. Alright, and then let's get into some other stuff I watched that I didn't review. This was also a pickup I got the other day. I watched Hard to Handle. I haven't watched these other ones. Ladies that talk about the Mind Reader, Miss Pinkerton. I haven't watched those, but Hard to Handle, an old Cagney movie, which is pretty good. He's like really cartoonish in this one. Really funny stuff. Yeah, Forbidden Hollywood Collection. All right. And then I started watching House of Wax, but I fell asleep while watching it. But that's an excellent movie. Yeah, I saw it like long ago, and yeah, and then I've of course seen Freaks. I didn't watch it this month, but I've seen that one a lot. Taboo Tales. This is one I picked up, but I also watched Reefer Madness I watched that on Tubi, and there was one other one on here. I guess She Should Have Said No is on here again. Yeah, good one. Pick this up. Taxi, another one of my favorite Cagney movies. Kind of like a vigilante movie, actually. I watched this, I think 2 or 3 years ago also, when I was starting to get into these old movies. Yeah, probably my second time watching it, though. Good stuff. Blonde Crazy, one of my favorite Cagney and Joan Blondell movies. This is another one that's like really kind of cartoonish, and he's just like, he's a shady hotel bellhop, and she's also working with him, and she's shady, and they're like scamming customers and stuff. Really good movie. And then I watched Dark Hazard with Edward G. Robinson, where he's like a gambling addict, and his gambling is ruining his life. Yeah, I picked this one up the other day, but I did see Blonde Crazy a long time ago, and then this is the first time watching Dark Hazard. This is an awesome collection. Another one of my favorite Cagney movies, The Picture Snatcher. I watched this the other night. Such a blast every time I watch it. Shemp Cocktail, which is like a collection. I watched the Shemp documentary on here. And you just kind of find out like about Shemp's life. And I've heard, or people are saying in this, that Shemp is like the nicest of all the Three Stooges. Like he was the nicest in person to everyone. And yeah, Shemp was a great guy apparently, and really funny also, hilarious. And then I watched All Through the Night, one of my favorite Bogart films. This might be my favorite Bogart role. I don't know. It's hard to say because I like him in these, like, The Petrified Force is another one, but I like him in like all these kind of like mini side roles where he plays the villain kind of. This is when he's actually the lead, but very cartoonish. Good one. Let's see. Smart Money. I watched that one the other night. One of my favorite, probably my favorite Edward G. Robinson role actually. And then Cagney's in it, but he's kind of a side character. These other ones are classic too. I didn't watch these this time though, but Angels Wash Their Faces, The Dead End Kids, and Ronald Reagan's in this, and Ann Sheridan. Definitely not the best Dead End Kids movie I've ever seen. Probably the least good one that I've seen so far, but I know they do have like a bunch more, and then probably better than a bunch of the stuff they did as the Bowery Boys, but I don't know. San Quentin, actually this might be my favorite Bogart role of these. Kind of like a prison movie starring Bogart and Pat O'Brien. Good one. These were more like, I didn't review these because these were more like 60s movies, but I watched The Ghost of Mr. Chicken and the Love God. That was hilarious. Don Knotts always cracks me up. Yeah, I picked these up thinking they were 1950s movies, but they're 60s, and I was only really reviewing stuff up to the 50s. But yeah, these are great. Don Knotts Comedy Collection. And then I watched Supernatural, which was a pretty cool, I think this is an RKO film. I could be wrong, though. Maybe it is a Universal movie. I don't know, but very cool one. I had this Blu-ray for a while, but first time watching it, and it kind of gave me like a Beetlejuice type of vibe a little bit. Like you could tell Beetlejuice took a little bit from this one. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Supernatural. Alright, and then let's see, is there anything else? I definitely, let's see, these are more pickups that I didn't watch yet. City for Conquest, Each Dawn I Die, G-Men and White Heat. I've actually seen all these movies, but I didn't watch them this month. But I picked this up for G-Men and White Heat, which I didn't own yet. I had these ones, Each Dawn I Die and City for Conquest. Those are great movies. Yeah. Greg Cagney collection. Another one of these Reefer Madness collections with Reefer Madness, Assassin of Youth, The Devil's Sleep, The Violent Years, Sex Maniac. Yeah. I saw this for like $5, and I had a couple on there that aren't on my other collection, so just grabbed it. He Was Her Man with James Cagney and Joan Blondell. I haven't watched this one yet, but I thought these two were so good together in Blonde Crazy that I just picked this one up. And then last up, let's see, I got the Universal Monsters collection. Haven't thrown any of these on yet, but been watching my buddy Jason at Horrific Nightmare JMs do reviews of all 31 Universal Monster movies in this collection. So if you're still in the mood to hear old movie reviews, go check out his channel. He's got all these reviewed on his channel. Yeah, excited to watch these ones again. I've really only seen like the original monsters. Like I've seen the original Dracula. I did see the original Wolfman a long time ago. Frankenstein, Mummy a long time ago. Yeah, just like all the original ones. I haven't seen like any of the sequels, I don't think. But yeah. Alright, you guys, that's gonna do it. That was my old movie month. Let me know which other ones you would like to see next year and all that. Oh, and then also I watched a bunch of Three Stooges. So yeah. Yeah. Alright guys, this is Danny B. You're watching the Trash Dish. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.